Hey everybody, Grimcat here. We are back with a little bit of more Dominions 4, and we are going to be starting a new game. We're going to be playing on this Throne Lands map, because it looks pretty interesting. Suitable for 3 to 7 players, where 1 can be underwater. Let's go ahead and call it Ooh. Let's play 3. Okay, well, let's call it Let's Play 3. We're going to be in the early ages, because I really like the early ages. Let's go ahead and get, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7, like it suggested. We want them to... That's not what I want. That's not what I want either. No. To be... Random land, random land, random land, random land, you guessed it, random land, and finally, random water. Because it said it could take the water. We're going to be playing as a faction that I have never actually played before, except for a tiny bit of testing. We're going to be being Tianchi. We're choosing them because I'm going to try to go more of a mage focus when we're going through than I normally do. So we're going to be looking to do that. Sure, of course we'll have troops and things like that, but it's mainly about the mages. Well, at least that's what we're going into this in theory. We are playing with 2 mods installed. We are playing with the same factions mod that we played with last time that adds, I don't know, 6 or so factions to the game. We're also playing with the... Oh gosh, what's it called here? Let's back out of this. Magic Enhanced mod. So there's more spells. Each faction has specific faction spells. Alright, well, let's redo this. Let's play 3, early age, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Random water. But it should be kind of interesting. Mainly because, you know, I like doing the spells. I don't get to see a lot of the spells because my playstyle, I don't usually have a lot of casters, even though I tend to have lots of people researching. I don't actually have actual combat casters a lot until the game is either nearly over, in which case they're there, but, you know, they've been kind of pointless the entire time. So we're going to try to do something other than that. The Celestial Empire has not been founded. The magic of the Way permeates the realm, and reclusive mages conjure celestial beings to do their bidding. Nobles wage war upon each other for honor and glory. A few chosen warriors and mages dedicate their lives to training in the way of the 5 elements. The deceased are worshipped, and village priests conjure the dead to ask for guidance and aid. It is a time of legends. We are humans. Our military is versatile and well equipped with large shields and iron armaments. We have noble chariots, which I assume is going to mean commanders. Our magic is water, astral, air, fire, nature, some earth and death, and we can summon celestial beings. Our priests are average. So, we are going to do a lot of the same typical things, which I usually do. Ooh, when setting up a god. Which is not that. Ooh, but they could be a bureaucrat. No. We are going a little bit differently, though. We're going to take, the Bodavista of Mercy. I'm going to take my typical 10 Dominion. We're going to be dormant. 3 scales in magic. I think that'll be good. Yeah, we're not going to mess with anything else. 10, 3, and then 3 air, 3 astral, and we'll call it there. We're going to random the name of our god, of course, and we are Gyanyin. There's a good chance I will butcher a lot of these names. I apologize. In the beginning there was chaos, and now the wheel is turning again. So let's go ahead and start by taking a look at our units. And let's start with our foot soldiers, which happen to be footmen. They have an extremely average baseline. A teeny bit below average. But they are armed with pikes that have a length of 6. The longer your weapon, the better, because you can sort of block incoming attacks. So that's really good. And they also have people with glaives, which is our half step up, which is a length of 4, a high damaging, basically spear. I think spears normally have a length of 4. So they're, the attack value is speed? I never remember. Or how well it hits. But, you know, we have decent armor. We also have these nice shieldy guys who have a higher defense, and of course shield protects them from arrows much better. And then the same spears. Archers with composite bows. Pretty average. Medium footmen. A little bit more protection. Just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit more. And then the same thing with the shield. And then heavy footmen, who happen to have pretty decent protection. You know, 15 is nothing to sneeze at in human. We have horsemen, who are the, well, pretty well traditional bow cavalry that you see all throughout the vanilla game as garrison defenses or province defenses. We get those as a regular troop. And we get the nobles on chariots. They're pretty decent. Kind of low on the hit points, to be honest. The exciting thing about them is that they have trample. Their size is not real big, it's 4, so they're not trampling tons and tons of things, but they are definitely trampling normal humans. And finally, we have our sacred unit, the warrior of the 5 elements, who is dual-wielding weapons. Although has a pretty poor protection, they got a pretty good defense. So when they get hit, they're getting hit hard, but they're not getting hit as much. They also have pretty decent HP, nearly twice as much as a regular human and their regular troops. They're resistant to most forms of things, and they have the strength of spring. So they're more powerful in spring, and they get increased HP. So let's take a look at our commanders. We have the typical scouts. Yeah, nothing really to say there. We have a noble commander. Very similar to the nobles, of course, better stats. Our first caster is the Master of the Dead. And one moment, please. Our Master of the Dead. They have a Death 1 and a Research 7, so their research will get bumped up to... oh my gosh, 9 or so? 10. Because we're 3, I believe. I already forgotten. That's crazy. And they have a weapon that does tons of damage against the undead as a thrown weapon with sort of medium range. Masters of the Way. They need not eat. They are sacred. They are priests level 1. They have 1 water and a chance to get 1 air, water, astral, or nature. Stats kind of on the weak side. The Master of the 5 Elements. They actually produce food. Have nice resistances. They are sacred themselves. Good researchers. 17 is a very nice score to see in what is a decently cheap researcher. They have 1 in all paths, except for blood, and astral. And they have a chance to get another 1 in all the paths. And finally, our Celestial Masters. They fly. They need not eat. Got some resistances. They are sacred. Pretty decent research. So-so for their cost, really. They're 320 gold. 1 in everything, except for water, which they have 2 in. Level 2 priests. And they have a chance to get 1... Well, they have a chance to get 3 different skills. So they can be fairly decent casters. And those are pretty much going to be the casters that are going out. So we're going to start by repeating them. And then we are also going to start recruiting some of the cheaper footmen. Let's take a look at our starting army. Not too bad. A lot of people like to rush out turn 1. I like to take a turn to see what I'm attacking before I actually attack. Research-wise, with the mod at least... Whoops, I bumped the mic. Sorry about that. We have a bunch of summons, which are relatively low cost until we start to get pretty high, of course. Nothing in alteration exciting. Nothing, I believe, in anything else. Super exciting. We can get Terracotta Warriors. How interesting. 10 fire gems for 10 soldiers or so. And a fairly low cost with it. We'll look into this a little bit more. I just wanted to give a real brief glance over, well, really for myself. We're going to be going straight into evocation and construction. Although it'll be a few turns before we actually start doing that research. So let's go ahead and end our turn. We see we are pretty well surrounded by some pretty decent troops here. What am I trying to say? Our commanders are fairly decent in the fact that they have a squad size of 3, and pretty decent on the leadership as well, because they are giving a 1 bonus. Our morale is fairly decent on these guys too. It's a 13. I didn't realize... Oh, it's actually not that high, but I guess that takes into effect, you know, the size of the army and our morale bonus and all that kind of jazz. Yeah, and that we're in friendly Dominion. Okay, so that's why we're getting 13 out of it. We're going to go ahead and we're going to wait a turn or two in order for us to get, I think, 2 casters. Maybe just... we definitely have enough to go out with now, but I am... Ooh. No, we're going to start heading out. We're going to take the least annoying one right now, but I want to look at my army setup because I think I set it up weird. I did set it up a little weird. We're going to go with our shield guys in front to, in theory, block a bunch of arrows. And we're going to just move our archers down a little bit. Alright. Battle in the Barren Crags. Let's go ahead and watch it out. Where's my caster? There he is. He sort of looks like he's in on the chariot, but he is not. There's something a little bit funny about a guy named Bark casting Vine Arrow. And they're starting to rout already, so that's good stuff. Didn't cast a ton of spells that time, but that'll actually change as we get access to, well, frankly, more spells. Let's see, they're both heroic now with battle prowess and with unequaled obesity. Fantastic. 60 there. Whoa, 60 is a lot. We got 50. Oh, I just don't want to risk that one yet. Now we will charge in with all three commanders. Somebody's already claimed a throne. It's a teeny bit scary. Sermon of Courage is pretty nice on them. That one morale can mean quite a lot. They're throwing stones at us, which are not really going to get through that shield very well. These guys do have pretty good precision. 11, I thought it was a bit better than that. They're sacred. In my test game when I did my god, I got a bonus to precision, which I do not have right now. So that's where that precision was coming from. I say test game, but test 10 minutes. Really. Alright, well, there are ways around that which we are doing. We're going to send our newest person that's right. The two casters can fly, but he cannot. We're going to send our newest to look for magic sites. Ooh, I forgot to put a defense up. We'll do 15 just to make sure there's a bit of a patrol. We will also get a chunk of archers, because they can be fairly useful. Ah, we found a magic site. Not quite sure what that magic site does, but we did find it. It's pretty nice to see our regular soldiers pretty much crushing them. We do massively outnumber them. I'll give you that. But it's still pretty nice to see it. Because they're not particularly expensive either. These regular troops. At 10 and 10-ish as a baseline. We're going to summon just a couple now as sort of a defense and a rapid response unit. Let's see. We found... Whoa, okay. Alright. That's a pretty good one. Wow. Not only pyromancers, but the upgraded version of pyromancers too, with fire 3. Nice. Nice. He's gonna do a little bit of research, actual research, and we'll start to get our actual construction even as well. Yeah, deathmatch, I'm not super interested in them. We're being attacked by Villian, which I didn't think was them, but might be them? Yeah, that's Marveni. Villian's one of the new ones. They've got kind of a green swirly banner. There they are. They have declared war on us. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. We'll search. We'll move people down. We'll go ahead and actually move him up and have him search as well. Maybe that was not the smartest thing to do. However, we did it. Search. Whoops. Have everybody else, and I mean everybody, even our new guy, come on down. We're at Evocation 1 now, so we get to see a bit more spells. Let's also put Conjuration up there. I did forget that there are some nice, or some interesting, anyway, summons that I'd like to see what are. We found the Well of Yesterday's Waters, okay? It's a bit tough for me to say. We're gonna have him move in. He is searching, they're all moving. Oh, wow, they're actually attacking us. Okay, fair enough. Usually they declare war without doing anything this early in the game, but they want a piece of us. Well, we'll be happy to oblige. Alright, let's see how their cavalry do. It's alright. We're all like drowning, which is pretty unfortunate. That's what those blue things mean. They're taking like fatigue and all sorts of annoying kinds of damage right now. but they have ran. And again, I forgot the defense. Goodness. I also forgot to look at these other battles. Alright, they attacked us in the Thing Woods. With one illusionist. Oh man, who's just got a ton of gems already. Well, yeah, that was pretty silly. And they attacked us in the Barren Crags. With actually a little bit of force. Oh, their stuff looks pretty weak, though. Let's take a look at them. Yeah, they're not great. They have javelins and stone spears. Their attack skill is poor, protection is pretty poor, magic resistance is poor, defense is high. Alright. Ooh, good for us. We are just getting a ton of stuff right now. We'll move in except for our man Yazi, who will search for magic sites. Oh, that's an interesting crossover there. They've already started putting up temples around me. Let's go ahead and get a round of a noble commander as well. And just sort of bump everything up a little bit, because now, well, with them attacking us, I want to have a force ready to go to war with, frankly. And let's also throw 135 and 9. Ooh, 45 and 7. Or 150 and 3. Okay. Didn't I have a guy right here? Perhaps not. Well, we will soon. We're gonna build a lab right here. Okay. Now magic sites found. What a shame. Construct building, a lab, not enough gold. Oh, fair enough. Alright, now our army is pretty big. And we're going to go teach them a lesson for attacking us. We're not going to go to the mountain first. We're going to go to the opposite. Lab? No. Turn that off. Limit the people so we can get this lab done. Let's get some research done. Teeny tiny little force right there. He's building the lab. I don't care about the research just yet. And we'll move him in. And we'll actually start recruiting our researchers here, because they're a bit more cost effective than our normal mages. But I just want to get that on there. And then I think we're going to go ahead and end the episode. Oh, they're going to get crushed. They definitely should not have started a war with us. It is a tiny bit annoying that my masters are also priests, so they're casting all the priest spells first. Of course I know I could do something about that. I just don't actually have the inclination to do anything about it just yet. Perhaps I should, but alas, I don't. We're going to continue to crush them, and we are going to start recruiting on repeat. Ooh, the adepts. No, just the regular old pyromancers. And we're going to have these people in our normal army actually just sort of researching at this point a little bit so we can get some of our baseline stuff going. They will have to make all of our sort of accessories for our researching mage, you know, our owl quills and all that kind of thing, to make them even more effective. Although, to be honest, I'm not sure if we're getting air gems. I'll have to take a look. Yeah, and we're just crushing them. We've got cold bolts going, although only a few. And our losses are minimal. Ooh, and our god has woken up. Didn't see that. She's kind of exciting. She reduces unrest. She disbelieves 25, which means illusions will be dispelled. She's a healer. She has a glamour her own. She flies. She's a pretender. She's a magic being. She's pretty resistant. She has awe of 8, which is pretty impressive. It's hard to get much more of an awe than that. She's going to be here researching. For the time being, at least. Just out of curiosity, can anybody make anything interesting? Or rings of fire? That is not interesting. Nope, doesn't look like it. Just to make sure. All sorts of rings, but that's about it. Ooh, and boots of long stride. Huh. Alright, everybody. Well, thank you for joining me for the first episode. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. All that sort of jazz. Hope you have a great day. Peace out.